Hi, welcome to my channel, and today I have another theatre vlog for you. So today I am heading to the Manchester Opera House to see Shrek the Musical. I'm going to the evening showing, which starts at 7:30, and I am sat in the stalls. I'm on row X, seat 6. So I don't know if I've sat there before, I can't recall, so we'll see what the view's like once I get there. I only paid £13 for this ticket. And it was only £13 on this one day. All the rest of the showings, that seat was like 30 something pounds. So yeah, I'm not sure why on this random day it was £13, but it was £13. So I only paid £13 plus booking fee, so I've worked out about £16 for the ticket. So didn't think that was bad. I thought that was quite good. So hopefully it'll be a good view. Obviously I'll show you my view when I get there. I'll show you the merch, because I think they have quite a bit of merch for this show. I think you're allowed to film the curtain call because they're constantly uploading people's curtain call videos onto their Instagram. However, that does not mean that the Palace Theatre will let you film the curtain call, because they are quite strict. So we'll see if they let you or not. I'll try and film it, because obviously production allows it if they're uploading it to their Instagram every night. So we'll see if I can record that for you, and obviously I'll review the show when I get home as well. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this little video. Okay, so I've just arrived at the tram station. Tram's not due for another 8 minutes. I should still get to the theatre in plenty of time. It's only a small one though, so I'm going to sit down and wait for it to come. Okay, so I've just got off the tram now at St. Peter's Square. I'm just going to walk up to the Opera House. It should take about 10 minutes, so I'll get back to you now once I'm at the theatre. Okay, so I've just arrived at the theatre now. You can see there's lots of work going on at the Opera House. There's lots of scaffolding up. I'm going to go and try and take a picture in a minute. When there's a bit of space on this road. So we'll walk down so I can get a picture before I head in. Okay, so I'm just in the queue for the merch. I'm just gonna get a program and a magnet, the usual, but they've got lots of stuff. Got some t-shirts. So I'm now in the theatre. I just bought myself a program. I'm just gonna head to my seat now. I'm in the stalls today. I'm on row X, seat 6. So I'm gonna head down now. Okay, so I'm on row X today, seat 6. So, this row in the middle, but I'm just going to take some pictures first before I go and sit down. Okay, so now in my seat, I'm on row X, seat 3. Show's going to start in about 10 minutes. So I'll quickly show you the view from my seat. And I did check, and you can film the curtain call, so I'll try and film that for you later. So yeah, to show you the view. Okay, so this is the view from my seat. Okay, so I'll get back to you now in the interval. Hi, so it's now the interval and I'm really enjoying it so far. They are relying quite a lot on screens rather than props. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but yeah, it's really good. I'll get back to you at the end of the show. So the show's finished now. It was really good. So I am now back from the show, so I thought I'd just tell you a little bit about it. So I went to the Manchester Opera House today to see Shrek the Musical. I went to the evening showing, which started at 7:30. For this show, I was sat in the stalls. I was on row X, seat 6. And I've never sat that far back in the Opera House before, so I wasn't sure what my view was going to be like. But it was actually a really good view. I had a great view from there. I'll definitely sit there again. The leg room was good. I didn't feel too squashed, but I didn't have anyone sat on the left of me. There was a spare seat there. And there was also wasn't anyone sat in front of me for the second half. There was in the first half, and then she disappeared for the second half. So my view with no one sat in front of me was excellent. I had a really clear view. So I was actually really impressed with the view from back there. I actually only paid £13 for my ticket. Plus booking fees, so I think it worked out at £16, and for the view that I got from there was excellent, absolutely excellent. I would have paid a lot more for that view. I think most other days that seat was like £35, but for some reason that particular day it was £13. All the other days it was about £30, so I'm not sure why. That random day that seat was £13, but luckily it was, and I managed to get that seat, so I was really happy with the view from there. And if I could get a £13 ticket from there again, I would, as I think that is actually really good. Usually I sit, when I get the £13 ticket, sit on the back of the circle in the Opera House, and that view is good, but this view I thought was better. So I think if they had the option again to sit back of the circle or where I sat, for this show I would sit in this view because it was a much better view. So this show had quite a bit of merch actually. I did buy my usual. I bought a magnet. This is the magnet. This was £5 I think for the magnet. And then I also obviously picked up the house programme, and that was £5.50. But other things that they had t-shirts, they had a sweatshirt, they had Shrek and Fiona headbands, I think they were £10. They had a pin badge set, I think. They had socks, they had a tumbler, key ring, and he also had a ginge puppet, so gingerbread man that's in it, a puppet form of him, and he was £25. I think he was the dearest thing that you could buy. Well, actually no, the sweatshirt was the dearest thing, that was £40. So yeah, I think the magnet was the cheapest at £5. So I just got the magnet. So yeah, lots of merch if you like to get merch. Also there was quite a big queue for the merch, so I suggest if you want merch, get in there early, or try and go in the interval when it tends to be a bit quieter at the merch stand because it's open in the interval as well. So if you don't know anything about Shrek, this musical is based on the DreamWorks film, also entitled Shrek, which that was also based on a book. I can't remember who actually wrote the book, but originally it was a book, then it was made into a DreamWorks film, and then came the musical. So if you don't know the story, it is basically, there's an ogre named Shrek. Some fairy tale creatures are banished from a town called Duloc by Lord Farquaad. He sends them to live in the swamp where Shrek lives. Shrek doesn't want these creatures in his swamp, so he travels to Duloc to talk with Lord Farquaad to try and get rid of these fairy tale creatures. He says he will allow him to have the deeds to the swamp if he does a task for him, and goes and saves Princess Fiona from a tower which is protected by a dragon. And he wants to save the princess because he wants to become a king. So to do that he needs to marry a princess. He obviously doesn't want to go and save the princess himself, so he recruits Shrek to go and save the princess. Along the way Shrek meets Donkey. He actually meets Donkey on his way to Duloc before he meets Lord Farquaad, and they become friends, and so Donkey travels with him to go and save the princess from this tower, where they meet the dragon. So Shrek then saves the princess, and they travel to Duloc so she can marry Lord Farquaad. But the princess has a secret. She's been cursed as a child, so that at night she turns into an ogre, but she doesn't tell Shrek this. And throughout the show, Shrek and Fiona develop feelings for each other, and eventually learn that they actually really like each other. And that is basically the show. It's very funny, there's lots of jokes in there. It's a great family show, perfect for the family. I do wish actually that I'd taken Alice, because I actually think Alice would really like it. I think Leo would like it, but I think it might be a little bit long for Leo. I think the running time for the show is about 2.5 hours with a 20-minute interval, which isn't too bad, but my children are used to like hour shows, and Leo usually by the hour is getting a little bit fidgety, so I think for a 2.5 hour show is probably a bit long for Leo, but I do think Alice probably could have sat through it. And yeah, I think Alice would probably actually enjoy it, so I think I'm going to show her the DVD that I've got of the Broadway version, see if she likes that. And then I don't know, maybe if it tours again I'll actually take her to see it, because I actually think she would really like it. All the children in the audience seemed to be absolutely loving it. They thought it was hilarious, and it was a very good show. So I have actually seen Shrek the Musical before, quite a while ago now. It was in 2014. So 9 years ago, God, that's gone very, very quick. 9 years ago I saw it, so it's quite a while ago since I last saw this show. I think when I saw it at the Palace. And yeah, there is a few differences actually between that one and this one. My memory's not great, but I think there's a few differences. There's definitely differences from the recorded Broadway version and this one. One of the main things is there's no magic mirror in this one. In that one there's a magic mirror, and he tells him about the princesses that he can meet. That's not in this one. What else isn't in this one that was in that one? Also in this one, they don't have children playing the young versions of Shrek and Fiona. There are adults playing them. And one of the big differences in this is Lord Farquaad is no longer on his knees. He's actually normal size, which didn't make too much of a difference, but there's just some of the jokes that are hinted at him being short don't make as much sense when he's normal height. But other than that, the person playing him was excellent, and Lord Farquaad was really good. Just some of the short jokes just didn't make sense when he wasn't short. So set wise, I actually really enjoyed the set. Thought it was nice. They did use some projection, and the only downfall with this was the screen seemed to move. I don't know if it had aircon on at backstage or something, because it was, let me say, it was really hot in the theatre tonight. It was absolutely boiling hot. They didn't have aircon in the auditorium, which actually led to a few people actually left at the interval because they said they were too hot, so they left because they were uncomfortable, which I think maybe might have been why the lady in front of me left, I don't know. But I heard a lot of people saying the people were leaving because it was just too hot for them. So they did eventually put the air conditioning on in the auditorium in the interval, and it was much better. But yeah, I think the I don't know how the actors actually managed to perform in all them big costumes and prosthetics, because it was hot. So I do wonder if maybe they did have aircon on backstage, and that's why the curtain kept, like the projection curtain kept sort of waving. And when it waved, it made the projections go all blurry. So whenever there was writing on the projections, you couldn't read it because it just went blurry. So that was just a minor thing. I think if the curtain had been still, it would have been fine, because it kept seeming to wave. Just made the projections go a little bit blurry. So they did do some projection stuff, which I actually quite enjoyed. I thought the projection stuff was quite good. The other props were really good. It's just a really nice show. It's all bright and colourful, which is really enjoyable. So yeah, I thought the set was really, really nice. Costumes were wonderful. They were so bright, so colourful, so just fun. I just thought the costumes were just great, so I really enjoyed all the costumes in this show. Like I said, Shrek had like some prosthetics on. Obviously he's got the Shrek ears. He's obviously painted green and stuff, so he looked great. Obviously Joanne Clifton playing Fiona, when she turned into the ogre, she had all the prosthetics and green paint on. Thought she looked really good. Donkey's costume was really good. So yeah, all the costumes was great. The set was fantastic, and the cast were absolutely amazing. Really, really good. Obviously the main characters were excellent, but the ensemble were also so good. And what I really loved as well was the choreography. When all the cast were doing the choreography, it just looked so good. They all seemed to be excellent dancers, the ensemble, and whenever they did the group numbers, it was just fun. Just really enjoyed all the group dance numbers. Thought they were so really, really good. So one person I thought really stood out in the show with her performance was Cherise Richards as the dragon. She has a song called Forever, and wow, she sounded amazing in that song. Absolutely amazing. She had such an amazing voice. I actually heard quite a few people in this go, wow, like she was so good. that she just blew me away with that song. I thought she was absolutely amazing. And that song isn't in the Broadway version, so I'm not sure when that song got brought in. I don't know if it was in the version that I saw, the first, because the tour I saw was the first UK tour, I think, of Shrek. And I don't know if that song was in it or if it was the original song. The original song I think is called Donkey Pot Pie. However, I think this one is much better. I don't really like the Donkey Pot Pie song. This song, fantastic, especially the way she sang it. Absolutely amazing. I think that was definitely the song of the night for me, the performance of the night, because she blew everyone away with that song. So yeah, she was excellent. But I thought Joanne Clifton as Fiona was really good. She was really funny. Her comic timing was excellent. Really enjoyed her as Fiona. I think she made a really, really good Fiona. I had seen her before in the Addams Family when that toured. She played Morticia, and she was good in that, but I think she was better in this. I think she really suited the character of Fiona. I thought she was really funny. Then also we had Antony Lawrence as Shrek, and he was brilliant as Shrek. He was really funny again. Great comic timing. He really brought Shrek to life. I thought he was really good. And then of course you had Brandon Lee Sears as Donkey. I thought was just excellent. I think Brandon Lee Sears is really good, and he has a really unique sounding voice, which is just lovely. I really liked all his solo songs. I think he's got a great voice. The main character cast was just perfectly cast. I think really, really good. Okay, so I'll now just go through the programme with you and show you the rest of the cast. Okay, so this is the programme. It says Shrek the Musical on the front, and then inside, as usual, you've got some information on the Opera House and upcoming shows, some information about the actual Opera House Theatre, and then you get onto the Shrek content. It says here it's on from Tuesday the 1st to Saturday the 12th of August. So to be honest, I don't think I'm going to get this up before it leaves Manchester, but I think Manchester's its second stop on the tour, so I think it's going to be touring for some time, so you could definitely catch it at some of its other venues. So it goes straight into the cast biographies. So as you can see here, Shrek is played by Antony Lawrence. Like I said, he was absolutely excellent at Shrek. Thought he was amazing. He has played Scar in The Lion King before on the international tour. He's played Mr. Banks in Mary Poppins. He has played Miss Trunchbull and Mr. Wormwood in Matilda the Musical. He was understudy Chicago and the rebel leader in We Will Rock You in the international arena tour. He's been Jesus Christ Superstar, Jekyll and Hyde, so he's done lots of really good theatre work. So that is Antony Lawrence as Shrek. And playing Princess Fiona, we had Joanne Clifton. Again, like I said, excellent performance from Joanne. She, like I said, was in the Addams Family tour last year, I think it was, or the year before. She's also been in Rocky Horror as well, and also she was on Strictly. I don't watch Strictly, so I don't know anything about it, but I think she was a dancer on Strictly Come Dancing as well. Playing Lord Farquaad was James Gillan. He was actually really good as Lord Farquaad. I thought he was really funny. He gave a great performance as Lord Farquaad. He was really good. So he's been in Everyone's Talking About Jamie. He's been in The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, Little Shop of Horrors, The Secret Garden. So yeah, I can see he's done a lot of theatre work. Then we had Brandon Lee Sears. As I said previously, excellent as Donkey. I thought he was hilarious. He's got a really good voice, really unique sounding voice, and I just loved all his solo songs that he did in this. I thought he was great. He's recently played Jimmy Earl in Dreamgirls, the UK tour. He's been in Be More Chill, Come From Away, Heathers, Motown the Musical. So yeah, he's done a lot of good theatre work recently. Then we had Charisse Richards, who played the dragon and the Wicked Witch. like I said, her performance of Forever was probably the performance of the night, the musical performance of the night for me, and I think for a lot of other people. Like I said, a lot of people were like, wow, when she did that song, her voice was just phenomenal. She was really, really good. So she's recently been in Once on This Island at the Regent Park Open Theatre, and that was her debut as an understudy. So wow, if this is like one of the first things she's done, I can't wait to see what other things she's going to do, because like I said, she was absolutely incredible. So yeah, definitely someone to look out for, I think, in the future, because she was absolutely amazing. So then we had Olivier-Award as the White Rabbit, the Guard, Duloc, Rat and Knight. So I think the ensemble play quite a lot of different characters. We had Scott Armstrong playing the Big Bad Wolf, Papa Ogre and Felonious. Imogen Bailey played the Ugly Duckling, Villager, Duloc, Rat and one of the Blind Mice. Jabari Braham played one of the Three Little Pigs, a Guard, a Duloc, a Rat and a Knight. Georgie Buckland played Gingy, that is obviously the little gingerbread man. She was an elf, a bluebird and part of the dragon puppet. Natasha Kayabayab, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, I'm really bad at pronouncing names. She played the Little Ogre, she played young Fiona, she played the baby bear, the rat and a dwarf. Then we had Mark Darcy, he played Pinocchio, a guard, a knight and a rat, and I thought his Pinocchio was really good. I thought he was really funny, and yeah, I thought he was great as Pinocchio. We then had Jonathan David Dudley, he played Captain of the Guard, the Pied Piper and a priest. Talia Duff was a swing. We had Remy Ferdinand as Tink, Duloc, Rat, Dragon, Puppeteer and Blind Mice. We had Gabriella Gregorian, who was a swing. Sonny Grieverson was a Duloc and a rat. Jamie Jonathan was a swing and dance captain. Bethany Kate was the teen Fiona, one of the little pigs, Duloc and a rat. Edward Lee was Papa Bear, a guard, a Duloc and a greeter. Jessica Lim was Mama Bear, Mama Ogre and part of the dragon puppet. Adelaide Mapina, again, sorry if I pronounced that wrong. He was one of the Three Little Pigs, a villager, a Duloc, a rat and a knight. We had Bronte Macmillan. She was the fairy godmother, a villager, a Duloc and a rat. Rory Shafford, he was a swing. And India Thornton, she was the sugar plum fairy, a Duloc, a rat, a blind mice, and she's also the assistant dance captain. And then here you have your cast list. You've got your swings, your puppeteers, puppeteer covers, and then your understudies. Don't think we had any understudies on. I think we had the full cast. There was no announcements saying we had any understudies, and I didn't see any signs up, so I assume we had the full cast. And then these are the musical numbers. So I have to say, this has a great soundtrack, this musical. I absolutely love more or less all the songs in this show. I think it's a really good show for musical numbers. There's a lot of upbeat songs, there's a few really nice ballads in there, but yeah, I think it's a really good soundtrack for this show. I actually quite like just listening to the songs for this. So the opening number is Big Bright Beautiful World, which I think is a great song. Then you've got Story of My Life, Don't Let Me Go, Welcome to Duloc, What's Up Duloc, I Know It's Today, Travel Song, Forever. That is the big song that's done by the Dragon. Like I said, probably the musical number of the night for me, because yeah, she performed that just so well. This Is How a Dream Comes True, and Who I'd Be. So that's Act 1. Then Act 2, you've got Morning Person, I Think I Got You Beat. That's the big song where at the end Fiona and Shrek have like a flatulence competition, which left all the kids in absolute hysterics. The children absolutely loved that part of it. Yeah, the children really loved that. We got the Ballad of Farquaad, Make a Movie, When Words Fail, Morning Person Replies, Freak Flag. That's a good song with all the ensemble singing that. It's a really good song and dance number. Then you got Big Bright Beautiful World Reprise, This Is Our Story, and then the encore at the end is I'm a Believer. So they get everyone's up dancing to that. The whole cast obviously do a big dance number, and I think I did film it. You were allowed to film it. They didn't announce that you could film it, but I did ask beforehand because I'd seen they'd put some videos of it up on their Instagram, and they said, yeah, you can film it. So I did film that, so that should have been in the video. I might not have put all of it in due to copyright. I might have just put a bit of it in, but hopefully you got to see a bit of that because it was really good. Really enjoyed the end number. So yeah, that's all the musical numbers, and then you've got the orchestra there as well. So if you don't know, the music is by Mike Himmelstein and the lyrics by Eric Darnell. So then you've got your creative team here. Producers. And then you just got your adverts. So there's not a lot in this programme. It is basically just your cast list, and that is it. And then a load of adverts. So there's no articles in here. There's no production shots or anything. It is literally just the cast in this one. So yeah, Shrek the Musical. I thoroughly enjoyed the show. I would go to see that again. If I had chance, I would definitely go and see it again. Maybe I can catch it maybe somewhere else on the tour, because I just really enjoyed it. It's just a fun show to go to. It really cheered me up. I left the show with a big smile on my face, and I just found it really enjoyable. Like I said, there are a few changes. I don't think the changes made too much difference to the story too much. The fact that they didn't have young children playing the young ones didn't really make any difference. To be honest, I didn't even really notice from where I was sat. They looked shorter, so I didn't even really notice that they weren't played by children. So yeah, that's one thing that didn't really make much difference. One thing is the dragon is very different in this. In this they have a big large puppet that's sort of flying through the air, and then you have Charisse, who's dressed in like this sparkly outfit with a tail and like a headpiece, and they sort of have them both on stage at the same time. The only thing with that is you sort of didn't know which one to look at, because the puppet was really nice and then so was her costume, and yeah, I just found it a bit distracting with the two of them, not knowing quite which one to look at. But that was the only thing. But yeah, the puppet was really good and her costume was really good, so maybe they didn't need both, I don't know. Maybe they could have had the puppet for some bits and then for the song she could have been on, I don't know. But yeah, it was a little bit distracting when they're both being on the stage at the same time, because you sort of didn't quite know which one to look at. But I did like the way they did the dragon puppet. They also used some projection work with the dragon as well when she was sort of flying in, which I thought was good. Obviously the fact Lord Farquaad wasn't on his knees and he wasn't short, I don't think it made too much difference. Like I said, some of the short jokes didn't quite make sense because he wasn't short, it wasn't particularly short. And obviously at the end you find out that Grumpy is his dad, and that's obviously one of the reasons why he's short. So again, that didn't sort of make too much sense because he wasn't short, but it didn't really take away from any of the enjoyment of the show. What was the other differences? I think those are the main differences really. There wasn't too many, and I don't think any of them really made too much of a difference to the show. I just think it's a great fun family show. Like I'd definitely say it's on over the summer holidays. Definitely take your children. I think they'll absolutely love it. I'm just gutted that I didn't take Alice because I do think Alice would have really enjoyed it. But yeah, definitely a great family show. Obviously I didn't go with any children, I went by myself. I think adults will also really enjoy it. I did. It's got, like I said, a great soundtrack, really good songs in it. And yeah, the only thing I will say, if you do go, do remember that it is a family show, so there will be young children in the audience, so there is a little bit of background chatter, which obviously you've got to expect at a family show with young children going, but it didn't take away from the enjoyment for me, because obviously you should expect to have some level of chatting from children at a family show. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed myself. Definitely give this show 4 stars. I'd love to go and see it again. I might even try and catch it again at one of its tour stops because it's just such a really fun show. Definitely recommend it. So like I said, I think Manchester is only its 2nd stop on its tour, so I will link down below the official website for Shrek the Musical, and on there it should list all the venues that the show will be touring to, so you can check that out, see if it's coming to a venue near you. So yeah, I'll put that link down below for you. Also, if you do like reading theatre reviews, I do have a theatre review website called All About Theatre, so I'll link that down below for you as well if you like to read any of my recent reviews. I'm not sure if I'm going to review Shrek. It depends if I've got time, because it is the summer holidays now and I've got my 2 children at home. So finding time to film reviews and write them, sometimes I will just do video reviews, but if I do get a chance I will do a written review for Shrek as well. So yeah, check out my theatre webpage. I also put any theatre news on there as well for local theatres in the northwest. So yeah, check it out if you want to find out any theatre news as well. So again, I'll link my website down below. It's called All About Theatre UK. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this little theatre vlog and review. If you do enjoy theatre vlogs and reviews, then do subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, and you'll be notified when the next video goes up. I did recently go to London and see 5 shows, so I'm in the process of trying to edit those videos, so those will be going up very soon. So I went to see Matilda, Tina Turner the Musical, Book of Mormon, Wicked and Moulin Rouge. So if you'd be interested in seeing vlogs for any of those videos, like I said, subscribe and hit the notification bell and be notified as soon as those go up. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this little video. If you have, please do give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.